So, Sefer Vayikra is really a direct continuation of Sefer Shemot that deals, half of it, with the story of Yetziat Mitzrayim and the process of transforming from slave to free people, and the story of Har Sinai, the sin of the golden calf, breakage of the tabernacles, and writing the new tablets. In the second part of the book, I talk about the process of building the Mishkan. Building the Mishkan by the Jews, right? What was the Mishkan? How do we say Mishkan?
Tabernacle.
Tabernacle, right? Building the tabernacle with by Am Israel, and whatever happened on the 8th day. Based on what happened on the 8th day, this parasha is being called Parashat Shemini. And is Liz Silvera there? Hello, Liz. hello, come by. So, what happened during the 7 days before the 8th day? We need to really look into that. So the Mishkan, the tabernacle, was built from wood, I'd say shittim, acacia trees that have been found in the desert. Was built out of silver, gold, copper, and other materials that they had there. They were all donated by Am Israel for this task. By the way, this shiur, first of all, is dedicated Leilui Nishmat Chana Bat Muluk, also for Freya Bat Sarah, Reuven Ben Mazal, Mazal Bat Zilpa, Hinda Gittel Bat Chaim Yitzchak Alevi, Refuah Shlema of Mazal Bat Rachel, Chaim Israel Ben Batya Alevi, and the Hatzlacha of Eitan Naftali Ben Yitzchak, Shalom Eliyahu Ben Avraham, and Yitzchak Ben Eliyahu. And special thanks for Idan for making our chulent, also known as Jewish feijoada. So now, after they completed the task and putting all those and building all the parts of the Mishkan based on what God had told them, came the people. The people went in and they're trying to put the Mishkan together, trying to build that tabernacle together, and into a whole functioning unit. Of course, that Mishkan was a overlanding temple. It was going with them from one place to another. You need to set camp. Every time they set camp, they set the Mishkan. I guess the Jews were the first one to do overlanding. So they built the Mishkan. They tried to build it. I mean, they did so for 40 years. But the problem was to do it on the first time they tried. They tried for 7 days, Rabotai. So they're coming to put it together, and the pieces don't fit. It simply does not fit. So when this happens for 7 days, and every single day they fail again and again and again and again. However, something is interesting that is happening here. Instead of complaining, instead of getting angry, instead of being frustrated, they think and they believe that they are going to succeed in that task of building the Mishkan. Every single day they think, okay, today is going to be the day that we're going to do it. And they keep on trying, and there's no complaining. Rabotai, you don't understand how complaining is bad. A person that is a complainer, you got to stay away from him like from the plague. These are usually negative people that only destroy for you. Stay away from complainers. So, every single day they do so until the 8th day. By the way, there's a medicine there if you need for your cough. Thank you. Every single day until the 8th day. However, on the 8th day, all these pieces that couldn't, all of a sudden, they're coming down together like as a miracle. Something miraculous happened, and all the pieces are coming out, and then the glory of Hashem is being seen and shared by all. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'akol nהיה b'dvaro.
Amen.
In that, there is a tremendous idea that we need to learn from. In that event, something that could really, believe me, change your life from one end to another. What we learn from here, as it says in Sefer Mishlei, also known in English as Proverbs, chapter
18.
12.
26.
24. Verse
18.
9.
4.
16.
16.
It says, Ki sheva yipol tzadik vekam verashayim ikashlu bara. This pasuk needs understanding. What does it mean? Sheva yipol tzadik. A tzaddik, a righteous man. It's not what we necessarily think. A tzaddik is a person, and according to this pasuk, a righteous person is a person that fails and tries and fails and tries and fails and tries and does not complain. He does not complain. 7 times he's trying. 7 times he's failing. And he still gets up every single time he gets up again. The Rasha, according to this understanding, here, give Yonatan some medicine. I think Yonatan needs coffee. The Rasha, what does it say, the Pasuk? Yikashel bara. In other words, something bad happens, he stumbles on the difficulties. So, what does it mean that he is nichshal bara? That something in his emunah was not right, that he chose to complain and he failed. That's what he failed. Some hardship came your way, boom, I'm out. The tzaddik does not, the righteous person, something in his narrative of reality is completely different than the other person. So, from that we learn something tremendously. The Kabbalah teaches us that in the upper worlds, we were created perfect. We were created perfect. Because we were created perfect, each and every one of us, before our neshama came down to this world, shows the level of imperfection for it to come to this world. Believe it or not. And we chose to come to this world that is blemished, that is not perfect, that it's dark, that has a lot of pain, there's a lot of lacking in it, only so we can come in and we could fulfill the urge, our urge, to rediscover the greatness of God every single day in you. This is something that is, I had a discussion with somebody last week. It's a non-Jewish person, very nice person. And they had a hard time understanding that suffering is not really suffering. And really a person does not need to suffer. It all depends on how you look at it. For one person it's suffering and then he resents that. The other person it's like it's a chance to reveal the light of God. Through the difficulties, not when it's good. As we know in the Torah says, what does it say? Vayishman Yeshurun Vayivat. Right? You get fat, you kick the bucket, that's it. All of a sudden, you don't need to worry about anymore when you're gonna get, when you're gonna make your food, or when you're gonna eat. Right? You call Uber Eats, and Uber sneezes, and this and that, and everything comes to you, and you feel like it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like this, doesn't work like this at all. And this is why we love challenges. A person that does not like to be challenged, who is afraid from challenges, has a problem, has a severe problem in his spirituality. He is usually a person that doesn't like challenges is usually a person who is a negative person that is always in darkness. that is always going to be, he's going to be a serial complainer. Everybody likes challenges. Even if it's a challenge just to say, you know what, maybe I could just, put, instead of, I don't know, pushing 100 pounds or 100 kilos, I'll do a little bit more. Person that tries to avoid, that lives in avoidance all the time, is avoiding any kind of a challenge, whether it's, now you're going to say, I don't like machloket, I don't like, disagreement, but it's not necessarily disagreement, it's just a challenge for you. Are you going to be able to say what you really believe? Are you going to be able to say what you really want? That is also a challenge. When you choose not to do so, you are failing. We all want challenges. And there is no greater satisfaction where we are able to create light. We create the light. We bring about the light from the darkness. That is the challenge of Hanukkah. Now let's see how much you are going to put it in the window. You're not going to put it in the window. That's the challenge of Hanukkah. When we bring light into this world, when we bring light into the pain and we get meaning, there's no greater satisfaction than that. When you don't like challenges, you're going to be fat, and at the end of the day, you're not going to believe in God. I'm going to tell you this straight out. A person that wants everything like this, served for him on the silver platter, let me tell you, is a person that maybe externally is a Yereh Shamayim person, a God-fearing person, but practically inside is not. He's not. So much the Torah says, Lefum tzara agra. The greater the difficulty, the greater the light that comes out. Now, when we are able to bring light from darkness, when we are able to change bitter to sweet, we need to understand that we need other people around us. But when we're able to do so, we realize that we don't need basically anything. We have everything around us. In our world, right? In our world, we create a society of lacking. Everybody feels that they don't have. So they want more. They want more. They want more. That's why the world is in a state of darkness. We never stop, and we don't teach ourselves and our children to really look into the blessing that we have in our life, how much good we have in our lives, how great it is. I keep telling you guys time and time again, if you think of the average person, just a regular guy, who lives, let's say, in a studio apartment somewhere, and I don't know where. He probably has better, easier life than a king back in the days. He has running water, he has refrigeration, he has heat, he has electricity, he has You want to take a shower at like 2 o'clock in the morning? Go ahead, hot water. It doesn't make a difference. It's going to be minus 20 degrees outside. You take a shower, no problem. You don't understand how good we have it. And what happened? We don't want to be challenged. And many times that's the biggest mistake the parents do when they serve their kids with a silver platter. They don't tell them, Habibi, you want something? Not a problem. Go to work. Go do something with yourself. Challenge yourself. Shamir, you listening? You like it? Take more, take more. Now, in our life, it's going to be like building the Mishkan. All our days on this earth, it's one big task of putting the Mishkan, putting the temple, putting the tabernacle back together every single day. We need to find those pieces, and we need to find our partners in putting it together. When there is the fire of emunah burning inside of us, and understanding that in order to complete the job, to complete the task, we need to have a different attitude. And the attitude has to be that everything that we need to finish the job is already existing in the world. Everything you need to finish your job is already here. Every single day that we are alive and we experiencing and we feel fulfillment and satisfaction, we create something new. We build the Mishkan again together, like Am Yisrael, putting it together, because now I'm satisfied. And when I'm satisfied, I make also room for Hashem, but when I'm in Mitzrayim means constricted. I can't even see. You're tired, you're constricted, it's very hard. And it doesn't make a difference how much money you have in the bank. That has to do with your head, with your attitude. So, from this understanding, from this emunah, you can really grow and develop and succeed. Listen, Rabbotah, I'm going to tell you, it hurts. It hurts. But it happens. It happens to all of us. Sometimes we fail. We take a task and we can't complete the task. Sometimes we have a big project and the project falls apart. Sometimes a lifetime of effort really falls crumbling in front of your face. The question is, what do you do now? What do you do from here? Well, that depends from what are you made of? Are you what my Chinese doctor used to say, oh, Chatan Danan. Rabotai, please welcome the Chatan, Naftali, right? He's less sure as a free man. Come have some free cholent. So, it depends really what you're made of. My Chinese doctor used to say, many people are like tofu. I said, what do you mean? He said, they look big, they have muscles, but inside they're tofu, they're weak. Tofu looks like a rock, but when you look at it, it's like all squashy like this. What are you made of? What are you made of? So, we need to understand that mourning, now whether it's somebody close to us or some big loss that we have, mourning is a part of life. Here, to ask our psychologist in training over here, in-house psychologist, and you'll see that he will tell you that it's a part of life. Yeah, we need to mourn and so on and so forth. Yeah, and you should not push those emotions to the side. You need to let those emotions of pain and sorrow the appropriate space that they need. You cannot let them overwhelm you, but you need to create space to let those emotions come up to the surface. You cannot push it away, because once you're going to push it away, you don't know where the pressure is going to come out. But we need to also learn how to elevate yourself from the stage of mourning and above in that. And there's no greater mourning from a person that lost his dear ones. By the way, I just want to tell you, talking about dear ones, today was my father's birthday, alav shalom. And I all of a sudden realized this, and I was sad. I said, I can't celebrate my father's birthday. And I said, no, that's how I'm going to celebrate my father's birthday. I'm going to make it into a good day. I'm going to try to be as positive as I can today, because that's what my father wanted. But today, April 4th, 4/4, that was my father's birthday. So there's nothing greater than a loss of somebody that you really loved and you lost them. And you should see that even there the Torah gave us a rule, and that get to the different stages of avlut, of mourning. The first 3 days is for crying, 7 days is for mourning, and a month, during the month after the period that the person had died, while you're still limiting yourself in terms of not to wear new clothing and so on and so forth, right? There's also this limitation that exists. That's why and of course there is a job, there's a reason for that. There is a reason why we do all these things. And we know that the Torah knows that a person cannot ignore completely his pain. But from the other hand, he needs to really look forward, and not only to look, but also to continue forward. And the reason why we have those 3 different periods of time is by this definition of these things. When the time is 3 days, 7 days, 30 days, a year, we actually allow the transition from one stage to another, and by doing so, dealing with the pain and actually overcoming the pain as well. And also when we are standing in front of great failures that we have, or disappointments that we have, And especially when those disappointments or failures were not really our fault. Sometimes it could be due to market fluctuations based on people's decision, but there's great disappointments and so on and so forth. You try to do whatever you can. So again, it's very difficult to see your life projects falling apart. But if you look at the biography of the great people, of those who really made it in all aspects of life, throughout history, you would see that there's one thing in common to all of them. They knew how to rebuild themselves after a great time of difficulties. How to rebuild yourself. You don't fall back, and this is the history of Am Israel. After the expulsion from Eretz Israel, they settled down, whatever they settled down, they went to Spain, they did well, they got kicked out of Spain. It was a catastrophe in Spain. After that, they went in and they were doing well, they went to the Holocaust. After this horrendous thing of the Holocaust, look what happened, the state of Israel came. It's not the end of the world. It is hard, it is difficult, it is painful, it is saddening, but it's not the end of the world. And that is something that we must understand and we must comprehend and do whatever we can to move from those stages as well. The issue is to learn not to give up. Not to give up. Most people give up. I tried, I give up. What do you mean you give up? What kind of an attitude it is to give up? En Yehush Ba'olam. There's no giving up in the world. There's no depression in the world. I mean, if things don't happen the way you wanted, then we need to understand that we need to look at what we're doing, or maybe we don't do it right. Maybe we need to really learn some lessons and to reevaluate not only how we did, but also what we did. We need to understand that we need to create an internal change that will create or will bring about a reality that will bring a solution in a different way than what we did so far. And, to be able to find new powers inside of you from a place that is clean in terms of simple belief. Not, I'll do this and then God will give me this. Just because I need to do so, from being very simple and yet honest. In terms of understanding what Chazal tells us, Yagata u'matzata ta'amin. If you work hard,
believe it.
You get something, you believe it. In other words, there's no receiving without hard work. And there's no such thing as failure when there's hard work. You work. Yagata u'matzata ta'amin. So that place is to be a place that is really free from any kind of feelings of frustration or guilt or anger that we felt. Only when we released ourselves and we freed ourselves from that emotion, we were able to get a different meaning or a new attitude and by doing so, actually accomplish. Listen, Bnei Israel, again, as we said, Bnei Israel, they stand up and they're trying for 7 days to put the Mishkan together and they don't give up. We already said that. However, they do so from a place of emunah, a great belief in creation, in God, and in themselves. And this is exactly, as we said before, happened until the 8th day. And this is all to teach us that every single time we fail, guys, every single time we fail, we have another chance to recreate yourself using new tools that are already existing and waiting for you to use. And all we need to do is simply reveal them. Those tools exist. We just need to reveal them. If it's not here, it's there. If it's not there, it's there. There's no such thing as giving up. And from that, it doesn't make a difference if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a CFO, CEO, I don't know, NASA, I don't know, whatever you are, whether you are a business owner or whether you're a parent. Sometimes as a parent, you invest so much in your children and your children did not turn up to be the way you wanted to be. It's okay, so fine. But you give up, you're going to send them back to Amazon. What are you going to do? Well, you're going to try a different approach. So every person, every person, it doesn't make a difference if you're important or not important, if you're rich, you're poor, it does not make a difference. Every person needs to deal with failure. Every person needs to look with difficulties, but a person needs to know that he needs to adapt quite quickly the ability or the process of looking forward and dealing with and not only just dealing with the difficulty, but it's also the process of learning. And we need to maybe spend some more time on learning exactly what happened. However, without that shine of rejuvenation, of doing something, of renewal, and so on and so forth, you don't have any chance of creating a new program, a new path, or really understanding what went wrong. Because you're going to keep on doing this over and over and over and over again. The pattern that brought you to a failure, if it hasn't been changed, it's going to repeat itself. And you therefore need to say, okay, whatever. You know what? It's nothing personal. This didn't work out. It's fine. God knows what He's doing. I'm going to try there. Your success is guaranteed. Each and everybody says, it's not necessarily what we thought that we had in mind. Everybody thinks, oh, success, I'm going to drive a 4x4 Sprinter converted van.
Serious. Seriously.
4x4. But God wanted you to have an electric scooter. It doesn't mean you failed. Doesn't mean you failed. You don't have the money to buy it. You'll figure out a way. You know what? Let me make a YouTube channel that has, 5 million views, and they're going to give me one for free to try out. It all depends on how, the obstacles that you're going to put in yourself, these are the obstacles that you choose to put most of the time. And there's therefore no need to give up. And this is again, when you're able to create a new program, a new plan that creates positivity and hope, right? You're able to pull other people with you, and then it becomes a group effort. But if you can't do it, you can't persuade other people to join you because they say, hey, the Titanic is sinking here. This is like we're doing the same thing and we fail and we fail and we fail. So you won't be able to bring other people. And there's no difference whether it's your company or you're running a shul or you're running a household. You need to be able, as a leader, to create a new plan and a vision and let the people carry it over with them so they can help you out to achieve the goal that all we need to achieve, which is bringing basically the light. Now, and that depends on in our ability to fall, to fail, which is a part of the plan. The failure is a part of the plan, but it's not the end of the game. The end game, the goal, is after we fail to get up, to the process of getting up, to be fulfilling Mima'amakim keratich Hashem. I'll call you within the deeps. In other words, when I'm down, that's where I'm calling you, and I'm creating such a momentum to really attach myself to you, because nothing I'm going to let stop me from reaching closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that is contagious. You should create this, and then you'll be able to overcome. You're not going to be able to prevent difficulties, but you're going to be able to overcome most of them. So if things are hard for you, it's a sign that you are close. If everything comes your way, it means you're far, because the plan is you're going to have a difficulty, and then you're going to get up. And you're going to have a difficulty, you get up. So every time you get difficulty, you just move up to the next level. But if you stay where you are and everything is good, where are you going? You're not going anywhere. So you need to change the way you look at things. We need to develop the muscle of resilience inside of us to be able to stand up, to go a little bit more, to have the pain and understand. You need to understand that discomfort and pain is not an excuse for you to prevent you from doing what you need to do or to get done what needs to get done. So it hurts a little bit. No big deal. So it hurts. Adios míos, it hurts. Everything hurts. But that means that I have to stop now? No, because it hurts. It's a little discomfort. I mean, if you look at it this way, I didn't see a person say, wow, going to the gym. Wow, I'm crazy going to the gym. I'm going to be lifting weights. I'm going to pay money to do weights for nothing. It's crazy. My muscle work. And you still somehow found it. You have it we have it within ourselves. We have amazing powers inside of us to overcome everything and come in our way. The problem is not the test. The problem is our attitude. We are very spoiled. We like to be pampered. We don't understand that. That's terrible for us. Who likes to eat here like nice Swiss chocolate with I don't know, nuts inside and all kind of like truffles, right? How about I give you this every single day, 3 times a day, pounds on pounds. You're going to get sick and tired and you're going to die from this thing. Just a little bit. You take a little bit. That's what we need to understand. And that principle exists in this week's parasha. If we be able to take those to adapt to ourselves the qualities, the blessed qualities of optimism, and to believe that really tomorrow is going to become better by me doing something and not just waiting for it. Oh, tomorrow's going to be better. Oh, Mashiach is going to come. Just sit here all day long. I smoke my spliffs over there. I drink my I don't know, kashasa, I drink my rum, whatever it is, right? And Mashiach will come. No, I need to do something. Oh, well, he didn't come for 2,000 years. That's okay. So he's going to come in our times because we're going to do the job. You need to understand that. And this is, and not to see our failure, our identity. Many people associate their identity with their failures, and that has to stop. So now, towards the end, we should talk about the fact that Pesach usually happens around Parashat Shemini. Usually is around Parashat Shemini. Besides, of course, if it falls under a leap year like this year, it doesn't, but usually falls around this time. The Ari explained to us that Am Yisrael was a nation, the Jewish people were a nation of slaves. And he explained that slavery is not just putting you like this with whips and so on and so forth. Slavery mainly is a mindset, the way you think. The Ari says it's a mindset, it's a mentality that you need to deal with in order for you to be free. And this is awareness. That awareness really allows us to be able to create. And because of that, in order to do that, we really need to become different. And what we need to become different is basically to mature a little bit, to start taking responsibility. That's something that many families don't teach their children to teach them responsibility, to create a plan of action. You need to have a plan of action, and especially connect yourself to positive people and create, by doing so, a positive reality. You cannot create a positive reality when you're surrounded with negative people that all they do is complain. You're creating a negative reality, and who wants to be a part of this thing? And then you wonder why you're alone? All you do is always complain. Never nice. So we need to change this mentality. And you see that the problem of Am Yisrael throughout the desert, most of the time is because they complained. We don't have water, I got water. We got the water, we don't have food. We got the food, okay, we don't like this kind of food. At the end, what happened? Boom. We couldn't, and that's what Chovat HaLevavot says. Chovat HaLevavot said something very simple. The concept of Yirat Shamayim, being a God-fearing person, depends first of all and most of all on your ability to have a gratitude. Can you say thank you for something that somebody did to you? If you don't have the quality of gratitude in you, you might look like a person who is a religious person, but it's all external. Internally, you're rotten. You don't have Yirat Shamayim. You're a negative person. You can't say thank you. If you don't appreciate what people did to you, how could you appreciate what God does to you that's so amazing? Way more than above and beyond when you're able to understand what God does for you. So you want to consider yourself a person, Yireh Shamayim, start saying thank you and really mean that and see what people do for you. Even if it's somebody just opening the door for you or just letting you go ahead, and you got to say thank you. And that's what the Ari says. That's a matter of that's a mindset of slaves. In Leila Seder, it seems like we are dealing with children all the time, all about the children, the Manishtana, but really those children basically are us. We're really dealing with ourselves in order to be able to make the transition from slavery into freedom, to actually take the child inside of me and really separate and turn it over to becoming a mature adult. By doing so, you are able to start actually living life. But when you are still a mature, or should I say immature person, who is negative and a complainer, your life is not life. You're not going to be able to enjoy life altogether. And the whole entire creation is really built from an order of lights and vessels and lights. And we need to be able to say that technically, or we could say that the vessel is us. We are the vessels. But there's only one light, and the light is the light of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And the light of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is basically representing the whole essence of our lives, or our existence, is really to attach itself to HaKadosh Baruch Hu through His light, and to bring the light into the vessels in the most perfect way that we could bring. Until the moment that we all waited for, that it says, Bayom ha'u yeh Hashem echad, u'shmo echad. At that day, that one day will come, there is going to be only one God. Everybody will recognize one God, and His name is going to be one. The complete unification. And by the way, you cannot bring this unification when we are all divided. That's why we need to eradicate those people who speak Lashon Hara, to bring people together, to push away the people who wants to push us apart. We can't have this, because ultimately you are affecting ability of HaKadosh Baruch Hu to spread His light into the world, because we are doing something so wrong. And that is the light that really hinted on the Kli. Everything is going to be in one wholeness and in one wonderful unification. And therefore it seems that the essence of this parasha, of this weekly parasha, and all the other subject that appears in this parasha is all for that particular purpose of Bayom ha'u yeh Hashem echad u'shmo echad. Shabbat shalom.